Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and this time around, I kind of just want to do a quick announcement, something that recently came out. So very quickly, for those who don't know, who maybe don't follow me on Instagram, which, by the way, you totally should, but besides the point, a documentary recently came out about Pericles Online. So what is Pericles Online? So earlier this year, I actually participated in this thing called Telepresence. It's a thing that was started by the Coventry University in the UK, across the pond in the UK. But earlier this year, I participated in that Telepresence Pericles Online, however you want to call it. And basically, what that is, it's a theater show where the bulk of the rehearsals are essentially through a Zoom meeting, and then at the end of the session, I guess you could say, right towards the end of the show, towards the end of the rehearsal session, people from Coventry came down here to Miami to act it out with us in person. Why am I saying this right now? Why am I telling you guys about this right now? The reason is because, just like I said, the documentary for it just came out a few days ago, and I kind of just want you guys to go see it. I'm featured in the documentary where I actually give my opinions on Telepresence, how I thought Telepresence went, etc, etc, etc. However, only snippets of it actually made it in. I made a 15-minute video, give or take a 15-minute video, and sent it to Tom, who is the overall director of Pericles and the director of the documentary. And I sent that video off to Tom, knowing that, only about maybe 2 minutes tops of that video was going to get used. He only said to send in like a 5-minute video anyways, but most people I know who sent in like more than 5 minutes, and again, snippets were used, but besides the point. So yeah, I kind of just want to bring this to your guys' attention, because honestly, Pericles was one of the funniest things I've done in a long time. It was a very rewarding acting experience. I guess you could say filmmaking experience, just because of the process that it is. Again, basically glorified Zoom meeting. And yeah, again, I just want you guys to go watch the documentary, and very shortly you'll be seeing my full thoughts on what I thought about Pericles. The next portion of this video is going to be you guys hearing my thoughts on Pericles and what I thought about it and how fun it was, meeting the people there, just experiencing Shakespeare. And yeah, the one warning I guess I'll give you is that I think when I filmed this, I was very tired. It had to be late at night. I was very tired, so there's gonna be a lot of times where you're gonna hear me say or you're gonna hear me say repeating words. I say the word interesting and great a lot. I think my vocabulary just was shot by that point whenever I decided to film this. And that's the thing. I'm not really in the mood right now to edit that right now. I just wanted you guys to experience my full reaction to it, my full genuine reaction, no cuts. When I say no cuts, there's 2-3 cuts I want to say, and that's only because I had a very long pause that for some reason I was just like really spaced out. So I cut those little portions aside. Everything is basically my own thoughts. And yeah, the link for it's going to be down below for those who want to check it out, as well as at the end of the video, at the end screen, for you guys who want to check it out. And please do. It was a very fun experience. I really do hope that the full show will be posted up soon or eventually, because again, just a very rewarding experience working on it, working with the people, both old and new friends, and it was just great. Yeah, definitely go watch the documentary, and here are my thoughts on Pericles Online. Actually, one more thing very fast, because I was going to comment on it earlier, but then I forgot, and I don't feel like sitting down and doing the setup all over again. Little posters here. The amount of outfits I have in this documentary is like, Jesus Christ, I literally go through a whole fucking spectrum of outfits, because when we started Telepresence, it was cold as shit down here in Miami, so I have an overcoat that you see me like beachwear and tank tops, and then there's a part where I'm wearing a knit sweater, which is just hilarious. So like, yeah, also like, if you guys do watch documentary, just pay attention to like what outfits I wear, because I have like the most fluctuating outfits I think out of anybody. I don't know, you'll see. Check the documentary. But besides the point, here's the actual video now. Enjoy. Hello, my name is Daniel Mart, and I took part in this year's Telepresence, which we did Pericles. I'm part of the Miami people, live here in Miami, part of Florida International University, FIU, and their theater department. And yeah, I thought this was a very interesting project. When Michael Yanni, my professor, first brought this up to me, I was very interested in it. And I mean, the only conundrum I had with it, so to speak, was that I wasn't sure I was going to be available initially to do it, which is why I was hesitant to do it. But eventually, once I figured out my schedule, saw what my plans were for the spring semester, I decided to take a part of it. And overall, I would say my experience with it was very fun. I very much enjoyed it. The whole month, I think it was, that we participated in it. It was basically the bulk of January going into early February, I want to say. Um, and yeah, it was very great, very fun to be a part of. I got the part of Simonides, which he's in Act Two, Scene Two. My bad. He was in the second scene, if I'm not mistaken. Simonides, the king, and that was a very fun scene to do. I was doing it with Anna, who's from the UK, from the Coventry people, and Gabriel, who's from here. He was a graduate of FIU. He graduated last year. And just working with them was very fun and very interesting, especially because Anna and just everybody from Coventry as a whole, the way they work is very different from how we work. And something most of the Miami people seem to notice is the fact that a lot of their acting was very movement based. The way they moved very much followed or influenced, better said, how they acted. Whereas we were very voice based, vocally based, and most of our acting came from how we talked, how we did the scenes. And I thought that was very interesting to just experience how, because yes, we've had training in movements, and they've of course have training in voice, but they focus more on movement, we focus more on the voice. So I thought overall that was very interesting. So we did that scene together, me, Gabriel, and Anna. And I really liked how that scene turned out. It's also the first time I really have done Shakespeare. I mean, I've done a few Shakespeare monologues in the past, but this is the first time I've done a Shakespeare play, and just getting into the mindset and really focusing on what Shakespeare does and how it's written, I thought was very, interesting, essentially. I don't really know another word for it, but it was very exciting and very interesting to really dig deep into it. And as the progress kept going with every rehearsal, every day in and day out, I found myself just not only more invested in this project, but also focused on the words and really understanding what they meant. And my big scene again was scene 2 where I played Simonides, but that's not the only scene I did. I also did scene 6, I believe it was scene 6, scene 5, scene 6, where it's the 4 Gowers, and I portrayed Gower number 1, number 2, something like that, and then the 2 gentlemen, where I portrayed one of the gentlemen there. And again, just especially with the Gowers too, because they're essentially like the chorus if you want to compare it to something else. That's kind of how I compared it to, like in ancient Greek plays, the chorus, because they're like narrating what's about to happen in the scene or what's happening in the scene, and just going around there. And also with the way we play that scene, the way we blocked it out, because we did this in DM 150. That's the theater space that we did it in, and it's almost like, kind of like a black box setting, so to speak. Más o menos, more or less. So we were, and with what Tom was telling us, the professor from Coventry, he was telling us that if you want, you could try to take those opportunities to like interact with the audience. And with Gowers, that's really the best way you can do it. Best time you could do it, that's the way you could interact with the audience. And since I was essentially the lead Gower for that scene, I found it very easy to go up into the audience and interact with them, like saying my lines as I'm looking towards them. And that was just very cool, because that's one of my favorite aspects in theater, when the actors are able to connect with the audience. And I don't just mean emotionally, like you two are doing a scene, the 2, 3, 4 actors, however many actors are on stage, are doing the scene, and emotionally you connect. But I mean like literally connect, like I'm directly looking at you, the audience member, and you could maybe breaking the fourth wall, so to speak, as well. But I just find that very interesting. I just like doing that, and we did that scene. It was me, Santiago, who's from here, from Miami, as well as Daisy and also Anna. And so those were the 4 Gowers, and just working with them, again, the way they work, again, they focus more on the movement, whereas we focus on the voice more. And that was all just very interesting, and I like how I just like how that scene turned out as well. It was just all very interesting. And then with the gentleman scene, it was me, Laura, from Coventry, Santiago, from here, and Daisy, again, which is from there. And again, I mean, the stuff with the gentleman, that was very minimal. There was like 2 or 3 lines. But again, just getting into that environment and just really looking at it. Same thing with the scene with scene 2 with where I was Simonides. Just digging into that Shakespearean element, that Shakespearean literature, the script. It just really opened my eyes to what Shakespeare really can do and what he can convey within that Shakespearean language, I guess. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. And like I said, I would say that for the most part, I enjoyed my time doing this, especially because for the first 2 weeks, of it. We were basically doing a glorified Zoom rehearsal, essentially, because we had the screen. Like, let's say this is the screen here in the middle, and like the Miami folks on this side, and then the Coventry people on this side. It was just a big screen, like, yeah, it was basically a glorified Zoom meeting to do that, and just working with every single one of them: Laura, Jao, Anna, Daisy, Adu, Simona, M. Working with all of them was just very, very incredible, and just I learned a lot from them, and of course I made some great connections with them, and I made a great friendship out of all of them. Laura, Jao, Anna. I mean, those are the ones I speak to the most, but also like with Simona, M, and all the rest of those folks. It was just, it's just interesting working with someone from such a far distance, from Miami to Coventry where they're at, and then you're experiencing all this through a glorified Zoom meeting essentially, and you're still able to connect. And then when we met them here in real life, when they came to Miami and we got to talk with them and really act it out in person, it just brought everything together, I think, and I really liked that. And of course we did a meeting, so to speak, with Andy Serkis, and that was, I mean, that's incredible. He's one of the best motion actors, visual motion actors. I forget what the term is, but he's done Gollum and Lord of the Rings and Planet of the Apes. So motion capture, that's what it is. One of the best motion captures actors there is. And I mean, he was just incredible for even one rehearsal, just for him to be there and to compliment our work. I thought that was just very meaningful, and I really liked that. The one negative I will say is that I wish more people had seen it, especially because the day we did it on a Friday night, and I just wish wish the people from my department could have seen it, because the thing is that during this time we had Airness rehearsals, and Airness was the show we were putting on during that time. So a bulk of the people who normally would go to see the shows couldn't see the shows, and I also just don't think, straight up, I don't think it was advertised correctly or as much as it normally should have. So not many people saw the show, and I'm not saying that I'm ungrateful for the people who did see the show, but I just wish more people were there. That's essentially what it comes up to. Even if we had 2 days, we did it on a Friday. Now I think about it, yeah, it was a Friday night. So even if we had 2 days, so the Friday and Saturday nights, or Saturday afternoon, whatever, the weekend people are free, so people could have come in and see it. And I know a lot of people wanted to come and see it, and they couldn't because it's Friday night, or we have plans, or they're at rehearsals for Airness, or doing X, Y, and Z. So that's the one complaint I do have. But just meeting them, doing this whole experience, I thought was great, and I'm very thankful for it. One more thing I would like to add is that not only was it great working with the people from Coventry, but it was also great working with the people from here in Miami, because yes, although a bunch of the people here that I did work with are my friends, I never really had the opportunity to do a scene or act with them, and now we're doing a whole show with them, essentially. Open rehearsal, show, same difference, I guess, I don't know. But like, I mean, working with Santi, because me and him have been friends already for like about a semester by that point, because I had met him during the fall semester, and this was done in the spring semester. So working with him was great. Gabriel, one of the best guys we've had, or we have. It was just really great to see him, especially doing Pericles, which, I mean, also him doing Pericles was kind of a prideful thing, because like, hey, the person who's doing the lead role of Pericles is from Miami, so there's a little bit of pride in that as well. But him, and just Gabriel's a great guy. Much respect to him. I've always loved the guy. Great friend as well. And just now getting to do, again, especially on top of everything else, I'm not only am I doing a show with him, I'm doing a scene with him. So like, and that was just great, and the way we bounced off each other was great. Christina as well, she was great. Another great person to work with also, because like, we've talked a lot. Like we're friends. But like, again, this is the first time I really got to work with her, and again, it was incredible. Justin, who's from our side, it was really great to like finally work with him. Because even like, I knew him, like for me, he was always like a person who was just there in the department. I never really got a chance to like really talk to him. And not only am I talking to him, but now I'm also working with him. And then even after this whole experience, me and him still talk, and it's been very, very great. Me and him just joking around about all that stuff. Rudy, another person from our side, great talking. You know, again, another person who we've always talked. We've always, you know, we're good friends. We've always talked, and but now actually working with him was again another great experience to have. Mia, that was actually the first time I ever met her. We were doing this experience. Because I remember when me and Yanni were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna have Mia," and I'm like, "Who the hell is Mia? I have no idea who the hell you're talking about." And then seeing her and then actually working with that, you know, that was fun as well. And you know, I liked working with her. And then I'm trying to think, do I have everybody from our side? Um, yeah, I have a picture here, so I literally just pulled it up just to double check. Yeah, that's everybody, and of course Yanni. So there's that too. And Yanni's like straight up. Yanni straight up. He's like one of my favorite professors, point blank and period. So just working alongside him in that respect was also great. Just, you know, of course, a great director, especially with given this new experience, this new directing style with a glorified zoom, which is essentially what this is, was really great. And you know, again, just to reiterate, also the Coventry people were great to work with. Adu, you know, I kind of wish I would have talked a bit more to Adu, but you know, she was cool. Daisy, Simona, and they were basically like a little group for the bulk of the time that we spent together, and you know, they were great to talk to. They're really fun. You know, Laura, she was very fun as well. You know, again, like I said, I loved doing my scene with her as well. Anna, my daughter, essentially, because that's who she played. She essentially played my daughter, so we like joked about that, like father, daughter, yeah. That was, God damn, I just like even now, like even when we message, that's like the stuff that we like. They're like, she's like my father, I'm like my daughter, so like mija, papa, you know, all that stuff. So like that, some of those running jokes like still continue from then on, which is great. And then you know my man Zhao, Jesus Christ, because the thing with Zhao too is that there was an improv game. I forget what it was called, but it was like Bus Stop, I think, something like that. And I came at him speaking Spanish, saying, "Oye, ¿por qué estás aquí?" Algo así. I forget exactly what I said, but he came at me in Spanish, forgetting, fuck, this guy's like Portuguese, so he probably knows Spanish as well. And Portuguese and Spanish are like very similar languages in some respects. So like it was just funny as hell. And then when he found out I was Colombian, he's like, "Yo, we need you, me, and Santi, because Santiago is also Colombian." He's like, "We need to go to Colombia and just party it up over there." So, and we still joke about that, like, again, just the friendships that were made through this. Yeah, the friendships that were made through this experience, I think, above anything else, is the best thing about having done this, because we connected with them, they connected with us, and while they were here, we partied it up. We partied it up in Gabe's pool. Gabe's, you know, pool. We partied it up at the wharf. We partied it up at Miami Beach and whatever, downtown, all that good stuff. We partied it up here at FIU. It was just nonstop fun, you know. So like, they're great. Like straight up, they're great. And I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I just think about them and like, damn, I wish they were here so we could talk again, you know. But it's all good. I mean, the Miami people are here, so I could talk to them, but not the Coventry people. But you know, it's definitely an experience I'm gonna cherish for forever, essentially. Simple as that. And I think now I've said all my thoughts on my for Telepresence Pericles. So yeah, this is Daniel Mart signing off.